Do you remember Lucas from Puderbach? Last year, his home state of Rhineland-Palatinate held its state elections, or the Landtagswahl in German. This year, he will be voting again in the most important elections in Germany, the parliamentary elections, or the Bundestagswahl in German. Every 4 years, there is a ballot to decide on the seats in the Bundestag, the members of parliament who represent the people. Like Lucas, every citizen of legal age has the right to cast their vote or stand for election. But how do the parliamentary elections actually work? Lucas receives a polling card a few weeks before the parliamentary elections. He can cast an absentee ballot or go to the polling station. He uses his ballot to cast 2 votes, his first and second vote, or the Erst und Zweitstimme in German. Each of these votes decides on half of the seats in the German Bundestag. The system behind the parliamentary elections is known as personalized proportional representation, or personalisierte Verhältniswahl in German. Personalized representation means that Lucas casts his first vote for a person standing for election in his constituency. For instance, Mr. Wagner, whose election manifesto he supports. The direct candidates compete against each other in the 299 constituencies in Germany. They do not need to belong to a party and can stand as independents, although many are nominated by their parties. The candidates receiving the most votes in each constituency win what is known as a direct mandate, or a Direktmandat in German, and automatically become members of parliament. Lucas casts his second vote for a particular party. This proportion vote decides on the total number of seats that each party will receive. The second vote, therefore, decides on a party's proportionate representation in parliament. But not every party listed on the ballot will make it into the Bundestag. Parties need to receive at least 5% of the second votes nationwide, or to win at least 3 constituencies as Direktmandate in order to sit in parliament. Before the elections, the parties in each federal state prepare a state list, or the Landesliste in German, with the names of persons that the party would like to nominate as members of the Bundestag. Candidates who win a direct mandate automatically join parliament, and the remaining seats are then assigned to persons on the state list. It is possible, though, that a party may receive 100 seats with the Zweitstimme, but win 110 Direktmandate with the Erststimme. Then they would have 10 seats more than their actual entitlement according to the Verhältniswahl system. The direct candidates will nevertheless join parliament, as the party receives 10 so-called overhang seats, or Überhangmandate in German. This means the party is handed 10 additional seats in parliament. But the other parties must not be placed at a disadvantage, so they are assigned so-called leveling seats, or Ausgleichsmandate in German. This increases the number of parliamentary representatives for all other parties on a percentage basis, in our example, by 10% of their election results. This restores balance to the share of seats relative to the overall results of the Zweitstimmen. Parties may therefore receive substantially more members of parliament due to Überhang and Ausgleichsmandate. Once all members of parliament are assembled, the next step is to form a government. Over half of the seats in the Bundestag are needed for a majority government, the absolute majority, or the absolute Mehrheit in German. Several parties will usually form an alliance if none of them hold over 50% of the seats. This is called a coalition, or a Koalition in German. The procedure can take some time, as the parties need to agree on compromises for their political objectives and projects. The terms are defined in a coalition agreement, or a Koalitionsvertrag in German. Finally, when the new parliament convenes, the members hold a secret ballot in which the federal chancellor is elected. Lucas has now cast his 2 votes, and in doing so has influenced the formation of government and political representation in his country. So voting is an important democratic right.